With Arsenal absolutely dismantling Sporting 5-1 in Lisbon, you'd expect me to eventually make a video about an attacking player that did so well. And while Martin Odegaard was my man of the match, followed by Bukayo Saka, I thought Thomas Partey was absolutely outstanding. I just made a video about Jurrien Timber. You wouldn't expect me to make another video, this time about another defender in a 5-1 victory, but I guess here we are. And I was kind of toying with the idea, do we do Gabriel? Do we do William Saliba? But if I look at it and I had to choose between one of those two centre-backs who did better, well, I would lean towards the goal scorer and the guy that, in my opinion, was absolutely perfect as centre-back in Gabriel Magalhães. He wasn't just solid against Viktor Gyökeres, he was dominant. And now you must remember, Viktor Gyökeres is the most feared striker in all of Europe right now. He scored a hat-trick against Man City, granted 2 of those goals were penalties, but he's a player that a lot of Arsenal fans desperately want Arsenal to get. And although I wouldn't mind Viktor Gyökeres joining Arsenal, I have said before that I don't know if Viktor Gyökeres is the perfect player for Arsenal, because I just think what Kai Havertz brings, although he isn't a finisher like Gyökeres, everything else that Kai Havertz brings is pretty much better than Gyökeres. I think Kai Havertz has much better hold-up play, Kai Havertz is better in the air, but that is beside the point. Viktor Gyökeres going into this game was the big talking point. He scored a hat-trick against Man City, has been absolutely criminally good with 24 goals and 4 assists in just 20 games so far this season, 5 goals in 4 UEFA Champions League games heading into the game. And well, what did Gabriel and Saliba do? Well, they completely nullified it. Just look at Viktor Gyökeres' stats from the game. 0 goals, 0 successful dribbles out of 5 attempts, 1 out of 10 duels won for Viktor Gyökeres, and only 5 touches in Arsenal's box across 84 minutes. Gyökeres thrives on physicality and finding those pockets of space, but Gabriel and Saliba wasn't having any of it. And I even think Gabriel was better defensively than Saliba, being that the one time that Gyökeres had a really good chance, well, that was because Saliba couldn't really keep up. Every time the Swede tried to turn, Gabriel was right there. It felt like Gabriel owned the space and all Gyökeres was doing was showing up. It looked at the time like Gyökeres was an under-18 striker playing up against Gabriel. But it wasn't just brute strength that made Gabriel's performance so good, and it hasn't been for a long time. It's been his defensive reading of the game, and it's been on another level. Gabriel has always been seen as this hot-headed kind of centre-back. This may sound crazy, but I liken Gabriel and Saliba's partnership to prime Ramos and Varane when they were a centre-back partnership. Ramos being Gabriel because they were both hot-headed. They'd be really good in corners. They were very good at pressing a striker, whereas Varane and Saliba were very good at kind of sweeping at the back, allowing the other centre-back to push forward. But Gabriel in this game, 3 clearances, 2 interceptions, 9 defensive actions in total. Oh, and once again, did I mention he blocked Gyökeres' only shot on target, forcing Gyökeres to drift deeper to just get a touch of the ball. That's how much Gabriel and Saliba kind of owned the space. This kind of anticipation is what separates good defenders from elite ones. You could see it. Every pass to Gyökeres was met with either Gabriel or Saliba immediately closing him down, never giving him a moment to breathe. Arsenal clearly did their homework, and Gabriel, in my opinion, executed the plan flawlessly. But Gabriel wasn't just defending against Sporting. No. He showed up when it mattered most for a centre-back, yet again on set pieces. Just before halftime, Declan Rice, surprise, delivered a pinpoint corner, and Gabriel, well, this is the story of the season so far. He rose above everyone else to power home a thumping header, getting his first ever Champions League goal, which is huge, and that is his 3rd goal across all competitions this season. And how many of them were headers from corners? Well, I think all 3 of them. And also that celebration mimicking Gyökeres' signature pose. I don't like that, because if Gyökeres joins Arsenal, it's going to be a bit of an awkward conversation, but I mean, it's cold, absolutely cold. 3-0 up just before halftime, you mimic the celebration. People don't like it, but that's part of football. I enjoyed that because if you think back to when Sporting knocked us out of the Europa League, well, they copied Granit Xhaka's celebration and everyone seemed to be fine with that one. So I don't mind this at all from Gabriel. Good on him. Now, there is an elephant in the room about Gabriel's performance, and that is not his fault, but at the end of the game, he had to get brought off with some discomfort in the final minutes. But Arteta did say after the game that we had to make the change because he was feeling some discomfort, but it doesn't look serious. And after a performance like this, I really do hope it isn't serious. Our defense looks really solid, even though we did concede a goal. And I've said this before in a previous video that this is the most important stretch of a season, and if you can win damn near every game in this stretch, so from here to about the end of January, well, you have a really good chance at winning some titles, even with how the table looks right now. Hopefully it's nothing major, because Arsenal need this version of Gabriel if we want to make a deep run in Europe, or if we want to get ourselves back in the Premier League title race. Gabriel Magalhães versus Sporting was dominant, commanding, and clutch on both ends. But what do you think? Is this the best version of Gabriel we've seen in an Arsenal shirt? Let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.